Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday to you. It is so good to have you here with us today for an end of the work week edition of 5 Minutes with Phil. And seriously, thanks for joining us. And again, we want to say that if we can be a benefit or a blessing to one of your friends with one of these 5-minute sessions, pass the word on. Let people know that hey, you heard this and it blessed you. Maybe it can bless them. We just want to help people, and so go for it. Spread the word. We'd love to be a blessing to other folks. Now, for today, I want to deal with kind of a touchy subject if we're not careful, and that is the idea of responding to people who have done us wrong, people who have hurt us, people who have been dishonest with us, people who, well, you get it, okay? Because the immediate reaction for a lot of us when we go through something like that, the immediate reaction is to try to get even with them, is to try to one-up them. Maybe it is to try to make them feel as bad or maybe even worse than what we feel ourselves. And the Bible has something to say about that. And as you might guess, it is totally the opposite of what we've been talking about. Take a look at the screen from the book of Proverbs today. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 22. It says this: "Do not say, 'I'll pay you back for this wrong.' Wait for the Lord, and he will avenge you." So whose responsibility is it for vengeance? It's not ours. It's God's. See, and here's the deal. I think God put this in the scripture not to try to limit us or to discourage us, but I think, in fact, I know this, God has a bigger handle on the impact of vengeance that has on our lives than we realize. It's like, I'll paraphrase this analogy, but it's like drinking poison and then watching to see if the other person will die from it. It hurts us more than it hurts the other person. And I will tell you that it is so energy draining and life sucking, wanting to constantly get back at somebody. I've seen this in adults, by the way. People who they remember just a bad moment that they had with somebody, so they try their hardest to try to make that other person's life miserable, to get that person fired, to make them feel bad, to try to destroy that person's relationships, maybe like yours was. And none of that is your responsibility at all. Again, remember what the word said. Don't say, "I'll pay you back for this wrong." Wait for the Lord, and he will avenge you. So that means you have to wait for God to do what he needs to do. And we don't like waiting because vengeance is usually instant. We want that done quickly. And God has to deal with people on his timetable. And most of the time, when we're asking God to deal with somebody else, most of the time we are way ahead of him as far as when he wants to accomplish something like that. So I want to encourage you today to not seek vengeance. I want to encourage you today to try to not get revenge on somebody who's done harm to you. Pray for that person. Wait for God to deal with them, and then let God take care of the rest. Let him take the responsibility. You don't need to take God's responsibility in this. Okay? All right. That's all the time I have. I love you. Thanks for joining me. Have a great weekend. God bless you. Bye-bye.